everybody, welcome to the channel again. Today we are continuing the chakra series with the sixth chakra, or the third eye chakra. And the third eye chakra is known as Anja in Sanskrit, and that basically means beyond wisdom. The color for the third eye is indigo, and the mantra, if you will, or the affirmation is I see. And it's also the element light, which is why I'm calling this At Last I See the Light. I know. Plus, who doesn't like Tangled? So the third eye chakra is the sixth chakra, which is also kind of corresponds with the idea of the sixth sense. So we have five senses that allow us to see and perceive the world in a physical way, and the sixth sense is really supposed to help us feel the world, right? When the chakra is in balance, you can feel really connected to the physical and the spiritual world, so it's kind of this bridge between the two, and you trust your gut instinct. It is the seat for intuition, wisdom, conscience, discernment, clarity, imagination as well. It also governs our dreams. So when our third eye is not in balance, and usually nobody over intuits, right? So usually it's blocked, not overactive, but it can come through as issues concentrating. People can get into more of an us versus them mentality, which we definitely are seeing in the world right now. It can manifest as self-doubt, worry, or overthinking. People can have nightmares or really lucid bad dreams. More kind of commonly, it comes through as a lack of confidence in your own purpose or your path in life. So not really sure what you're supposed to be doing here. What is the meaning of life, if you will? It can be an absence of intuition, or being too rooted in the physical, and not being able to heed higher guidance or wisdom, or that kind of still small voice that you hear. And one of the quotes I read recently was, the ego screams and the soul whispers. So that physical part of us that says you can't, or things maybe aren't possible, is screaming at you, the overthinking side, but the soul or the intuition whispers, and you have to be still to listen to it. Some of the affirmations you can use in your practice today: I honor and trust my intuition. I learn from my experiences, or I have clarity and peace of mind. This quote that I saw that I wanted to share that I think sums up the third eye is, I see things, I feel things, I know things that I have no way of knowing, yet I know. And so that's really what intuition is that, sense of knowing without knowing, right? You believe it and you know it to be true, but you couldn't tell anybody why. So in yoga, it's a great way to clear any blockages in the third eye. The biggest thing is, we will do some postures, so child's pose, getting your third eye to the mat, some of these kind of more inverted poses, even some of the more opening in the upper body. But the biggest thing with this practice today that I want to challenge you to is use your intuition. I say it every time that this practice is your practice. Modify things as you want to modify things. I try to show modifications and I try to give alternative poses when I think about it, but listen to your own body and only follow me to the extent that it feels right. If I'm in puppy pose and you'd rather take dolphin pose, do it. If I'm in any pose and you'd rather be in child's pose, do it. So the challenge for the third eye is trust your intuition, trust what is right for your body, and act accordingly. So with that, we're going to get started with just a little bit of the sound bowl. Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Really begin to settle in and focus now on practice and not on anything else you have going on. on. The next sound, find yourself in child's pose. Your feet are together, your knees are wide on the mat. Hands are stretched out in front of you with your palms rooted into the earth or to your mat. Allowing your third eye to just settle into that place on the mat. Feeling the connection between the earth and your third eye. And honoring whatever feelings come up as you deepen your breath. Breathing all the way into your belly. Filling up your lungs. Reaching a little farther. Take one more deep breath in, fill up your lungs. On your exhale, press yourself up into a tabletop position. We're going to take a few rounds of cat-cow today, if that feels good to you. Look up to the sky on your inhale, arch your back. On your exhale, breathe out through your nose. Arch your back, hunch your shoulders, gazes at your navel. Inhale, look up. Exhale, cat pose. Take a couple more rounds of this in whatever way feels good to you. If you want to take a more dynamic cat-cow, do that. If you want to be in the traditional cat-cow, whatever works for your body today, which may be different from what worked for your body yesterday. We're going to take one more round. Inhale up. Exhale, arch your spine or hunch your shoulders. Inhale and press yourself into a downward facing dog on your exhale. Palms spread out in front of you, your ears between your biceps. Heels sinking towards the mat. Maybe they don't reach the mat, maybe they do. It really doesn't matter. Just begin to settle into the posture. Feel your body. Set your intention or choose the affirmation that resonates with you for this practice. And to begin to settle into your Ujjayi breath, in through your nose with the back of your throat constricted, out through your nose the very same way. Inhale, look forward and bend your knees. Exhale, step forward into ragdoll pose. Grab opposite elbows with opposite hand. Take a deep bend in your knees, melting your chest over your thighs. Your head is just completely relaxed, neck is relaxed, head is heavy. And you're just kind of flowing here like lava. Everything that you're worried about running right off your back and falling onto your mat. Inhale. On your next exhale, rise up, high mountain pose. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to your chest. Inhale, on your exhale, we will say Om together. Om. Inhale, high mountain pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, press your hands into your shins, your back is flat, crown is long. You're growing longer from crown to tailbone, stretching your body to the ends of your mat. Inhale, on your exhale, plant your hands, step back to high plank. Take a breath here, set up. Make sure You are pressing the earth away from you with your hands. Inhale, rock slightly forward. Exhale, bend your elbows to 90 degrees. Inhale, upward facing dog. Elbows bend, shoulders come back and down, gaze is forward, chest is open. Inhale, exhale, flip your toes, and press yourself back into downward facing dog. Pedal out your dog. Arch your back a little bit, breathe in, and then just tip your feet over to the knife edge. So right foot, almost like you were going to come into a side plank, but stay in your down dog and press yourself back. Feeling the stretch through your hips. Come back to center and drop your feet over to the left side, pressing back into that for a nice deep stretch. Come back to center. Inhale, look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, jump, step, or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, high mountain pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga, jump, step, or hop, whatever feels right to you. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to do that same sequence again. Inhale, look forward, bend your knees, jump, step, or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, high mountain pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more, sun A. Inhale, get ready. Exhale and flow. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Go ahead and inhale your right foot to the sky, then bend your knee, open your hip, and take a couple of circles in either direction. 3 to the front, and then reverse your circles and come around to the back. And when you finish your leg circles, open your hip, drop your foot over for wild thing. Take some big arm circles here. Shine your chest open. Now plant your hand, step your right foot to your left hand for side plank splits. Today I'm going to do some movements with my knees, but you do what feels best to you. Open up, now plant your left hand, step that foot to the right side of your mat, perpendicular to your mat, and if it feels good, go ahead and lower and raise your hips. Couple times here. We're going to take one more, and on the next time up, plant your right hand, step your right foot between your hands, set up for a low lunge. Left knee is behind you or underneath you. Press forward. Shine your heart open. Arms come over your shoulders. Shoulders are down your back. Breathe in. Plant your left hand. Twist open to the right while you continue pressing into your hips. Remember your breath here. Plant both hands. Step back into a pyramid pose. Hips come back. Back is flat. Feet both point forward. This is a great time to use a block underneath your hands. Breathe in. You're going to twist open again to the right, keeping your hips pressed back so the twist comes from your torso, wringing out your GI organs. Breathe in. On your exhale, step your left foot behind your right for a cross-legged forward fold, and walk your hands over to the right side of your mat. Remember your breath, your head is heavy here. On your exhale, unfold. Inhale, rise up, high mountain pose. Maybe arch your back a little bit if it feels good. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Come to the crouching child's pose. Bend your knees and elbows and press yourself into an upward facing dog. Go back the way you came and press yourself into downward facing dog. Breathe in, raise your left foot to the sky, bend your knee, then open up your hip. Take a couple of hip circles to the front, and then we'll circle to the back. Back around, really opening up that hip. One more. Now open your hip, drop your foot, wild thing. This time circling that left arm, taking nice big arm circles, shining open. Next time we're going to plant our left hand, step your left foot to your right hand for side plank splits. And again, taking some deep knee bends here. Then come back to center. Plant your right hand, step your left foot to the left edge of your mat. Lower and lift your hips. One more up, and we'll plant our hands, step our left foot between our hands, drop your right knee, low lunge. Shining our heart open, pressing into that psoas. Now plant your right hand, twist open to the left, gaze is up at the left hand. Breathing in here. Plant your hand, plant your feet, press your hips back for pyramid pose. Head comes down, but your back stays flat. Now open up to the left, keeping the hips pressed back so that the twist comes from your torso. Step your right foot behind your left. Walk your hands over to the left for a cross-legged forward fold. Breathing all the way in. Head is heavy. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take crouching child's pose. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal out the dog if it feels good. Breathe in. We want you to drop yourself to your elbows if this feels good for Dolphin Pose. Walking your feet towards your hips, bending your knees and straightening them if that also feels good to you. Really press into those hands. Come back up to downward facing dog. However you get there. Inhale, look to the front of your mat. Jump forward. Rise up and sink into chair pose. Arms are over your shoulders. Knees are back behind your toes. Maybe cactus your arms. Maybe tuck them behind you. Whatever variation feels good. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right foot to the sky, step it forward, spin your back heel, rise up for warrior one. Hips, shoulders, wrists, all stacked in one line. Sinking into that foot, however it feels good. If you need to shorten your stance, widen your stance, do whatever you need to do. Cartwheel your hands. Come back, step into high push-up. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left foot to the sky. Step it forward. Rise up for warrior one. Breathe in. Always remembering that Ujjayi breath. Cartwheel your hands. Step back to high push-up. Exhale, low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Look forward. Jump forward. Sink into chair pose. This time, bring your hands to prayer position at the center of your chest. Inhale for length. Exhale, twist. Making sure that left knee isn't creeping forwards. The twist comes from your torso. You can stay here. You can shine your arms open. You can take a bind or a half bind. You can take side crow. Lots of options. Take the one that feels good to your body. Breathe in. On your exhale, slowly come back to center. Reposition yourself. Breathe in for length. Exhale, twist. Right elbow, left knee. Bringing the hips low if you can. All the same variations are open in this side. So we can shine our arms. We can take side crow. Whatever feels good to you. Breathe in. On your exhale, unwind. Forward fold, toe heel your feet about hip width distance apart. Grab your toes with your peace fingers and pull yourself down. Breathe in. You can bend your knees here if you'd like, alternating to just get a little bit more of a stretch in your glutes. Or you can stay put. Either way, your head is heavy. Neck is relaxed. If you need to shake your head no and nod your head yes to get it loose, do that. Let go of your toes, toe heel your feet back together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right foot to the sky, step it forward for warrior one. Rise up. Pull your hands behind your back, shoulders come down. Breathe in, fold over your thigh for humble warrior. Letting your arms come up, sinking low, or taking any other variation that feels right to you. Pull your arms back up into warrior one. Cartwheel your hands down. Step back for a high push-up. Low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your left foot to the sky, step it forward, rise up for warrior one. Hands come behind your back. Pull your shoulders down first, then bend over that thigh for humble warrior. Breathing in. Head comes heavy again. Keeping your thoughts passing by. Remembering your Ujjayi breath. Inhale. On your exhale, pull yourself back up. Come into warrior one. And come back to a high push-up. Low push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale your right foot to the sky. Step it forward for a crescent lunge. Up on the back toes of that left thigh. Left leg, whatever. Arms come up. And I want you to bring them down to heart center. Adjust your stance if you need to. And twist. Left elbow to right knee. This is a great time to take a bind if that's in your practice. So reaching through to grab your hands together. You can take a half bind. You can stay exactly where you are. Listen to your body and trust what it's telling you. If you're in a bind, loosen the bind. Come back to center. Arms come up. Open up to warrior two. Gaze is over the middle finger of your front hand. Inhale, press forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Breathe in here. Sink into that knee. Gently rest your right elbow on your right knee. Open your chest. Then bring your arm over that ear. Come back up to your warrior two. Turn your feet to the left edge of your mat. Toes are slightly in, heels are slightly out. Breathe in, hinge at your hips on your exhale. Come into a wide-legged forward fold. Do whatever feels good to you. You can take an arm bind, you can take headstand. I'm just grabbing opposite shin with opposite hand for a nice deep twist. But there are many options available to you here. If you're in a twist, go ahead and switch sides. So take now right hand to left shin. Really feeling that nice twist. Release that leg. Hands can come back to your hips and hinge back up. And then Skandasana, so just a nice low and slow side lunge. Easing your way, using your hands a little or a lot. You might need to come up on that heel. That's okay. Whatever works, works. We're going to come to the back one more time. This time when you come to the front, I want you to step your right foot forward, left knee is back. Both hands are inside of that right foot. You're going to walk your right foot out to the edge of your mat. Kind of point your toes at a bit of an angle, and then open that hip for lizard pose. Really stretching through that TFL, which for me today is super tight. Because I decided to, build an entire flower bed myself. Breathe in. Exhale, bring that foot back in, and then I want you to just come into Vinyasa or a yoga squat. Today I am going to sit on block to give my back a little bit of a break. Allow yourself to straighten your spine. Your elbows press out on your knees, hands press together. Gazes forward, shoulders are down your back. You don't have to have a block underneath you. I prefer it in this posture. You can take an arm balance here if you know that arm balance. Breathe in. One more breath in. On your exhale, stand up, press your feet to keep them kind of hip distance apart, and walk your feet over the palms of your hand for gorilla pose. This is a great one to kind of sway back and forth in. Check in with your neck. Check in with your jaw. And release any and all tension that you're holding on to. That is like, the only thing I don't like about my cork mat is that my fingernails creak on it. Toe your feet back to hip width distance, or just slightly under. Inhale, rise up, high mountain pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Sigh it out. One more. Inhale your left foot to the sky, step it forward into a crescent lunge. Right leg is strong. We are stacked. Shoulders over hips, elbows over shoulders, wrists over elbows. Breathe in, bring your hands to heart center, and go ahead and twist. Right elbow, left knee. Again, what you do on this side does not have to be the same as what you did on the other side. All the variations are still available. You can stay here, shine your arms. You can take a bind if that's in your practice. Anything that you want. Listen to your body. If you're in the bind, go ahead and release the bind. Twist yourself back to your high lunge. Open up to warrior two. Breathe in here. Sorry, I'm just getting my back foot in the right place. Gaze is over that middle finger of the front hand. Remembering your breath. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Gently rest left elbow on left knee. Open your chest, then reach over your ear if you want for extended side angle. Come back up to your warrior two. Turn your feet to the left, right edge of your mat. Hinge at the hips, fold forward. Take whatever variation of a wide-legged forward fold feels good to you. Also knowing that inversions are open to you anytime you want to try them. Breathing in, keeping your neck nice and loose. Inhale. On your exhale, rise back up and drop into Skandasana. Low and slow. Again, using your hands a little or a lot. Raising either or both heels. Choosing how low you're going to come. One more time to the back of your mat. When we come to the front, turn your feet to the front of the mat. Hands come to the inside of your left foot. Work your foot out to the edge of your mat. Turn your toes out slightly. And open your hip for lizard pose. Or stay put. You can also take a runner's lunge here with or without a bind. Really letting that hip fall open. Noticing how the stretch is different from one leg to the other. Do you feel it in a different place with more or less intensity? Just notice. Walk that foot back in. Bring the other foot up to meet it for Malasana or yogi squat. With or without a block, whichever feels best to you. This time around, I feel a little bit more open, and so I'm going to go without the block, but the block is always there for you. Keeping a straight back. We're going to do something a little bit different this time this where you come around your legs and sit back on your elbows. That is not my best move, so I'm not going to do that one, but if you want to, please do. For the rest of us, I'm going to take crow pose. You can join me in whatever modification works for you. For full crow, we're just going to rest our knees as high as we can into our armpits. Press our feet together, pull our core up and in, and look forward as we tip forward. If we fall out of it, no big deal. We just get back in it. Breathe in, shoot yourself back if you can. Low push up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. From here, either take Dolphin Pose or Puppy Pose, yogi's choice. Does not matter, you're either going to drop to your knees and keep your hands out, or you're going to drop your elbows and keep your hips up. For Puppy Pose, your hips are over your knees. For Dolphin Pose, press your chest forward. For both, really press your chest forward. Walk your feet forward if you'd like to for Dolphin Pose. Maybe clasp your hands together at the front of your mat for either, to change the place in your back where you're feeling that stretch. If you prefer Child's Pose here, Child's Pose is also available. For Puppy Pose or Child's Pose, your third eye is connected with the earth. Tune in. From here, we're going to take Sphinx Pose. So for Puppy Pose, walk your hands back, shoulder width distance apart, and just press yourself forward. If you're in Child's Pose, feel free to drop to your knees first, and then come onto a pose where your elbows are underneath your shoulders, hands are out in front of you. Pulling the mat towards you, dropping your shoulders down, gazes forward. Inhale. Exhale, drop your forehead to the mat. Reach your hands long behind you. We're going to reach for our toes, engaging our core so we can lift our legs. So inhale, reach back. We have airplane arms. Gaze is just straight, really, from, like a slight tip up, I guess, neutral neck. Breathe in, really engage those lats, pinch those shoulder blades together. Exhale, let it all come to the floor. Take a couple of breaths in here. We're going to take shoulder pigeon. So walk one arm under and the other crosses over into a T position. Sink in to this pose. Allow yourself to breathe in. If this feels intense on your shoulders, you can do one side at a time. You can also just send a breath there. You know how intense it is for you. Don't come out of a pose because it's a little uncomfortable. Don't stay in a pose when it's a lot uncomfortable. Sorry for the creaky noise. I don't know if you can hear that on the audio or not, but it's annoying. Slowly unwind your arms. I had I'm going to roll myself back onto my belly. My left arm is going to come under. My right arm comes over. And I sink back down to stretch out the other side. Again, just always remembering to breathe. Sending a breath into that left shoulder. Just noticing as you come closer to the floor. Take one more inhale. On your exhale, again, slowly unwind. Take your left arm out to a T and roll yourself up onto your left side. Breathing in here. Roll yourself back onto your belly. We're going to plant our hands beside us on our chest, or beside our rib cages, beside our chest. Press your hands into the ground. Exhale. On your inhale, come up for upward facing dog. Elbows are slightly bent. We're up on the upper part of our feet. Gaze is in front of us. Neck is neutral. Breathe in. On your exhale, flip your toes. Press yourself back into a downward facing dog, adjusting your position on your mat if you need to. Breathe in. Maybe try to sink your feet a little lower this time. Noticing if your down dog feels differently now than it did at the beginning of your practice. Inhale your right foot to the sky and then bring it forward to the front of your mat for half pigeon. So shin is parallel to the front edge of your mat. Foot is flexed. If you need a block under your hip, this is an excellent, so let's say your hip isn't quite down, just support yourself with a block. You can put a block under either hip actually. It's more important that your shin be pretty parallel and your foot flexed than it is that your hip be on the ground or that you be able to walk yourself forward. Back foot can be on your toes or flat, whichever feels better on your knee. You can stay on long arms, or you can come down for a little bit deeper stretch to your elbows, or even all the way down to your forehead. You can put your forehead on a block if you'd like the same kind of type of stretch. So that would just kind of look like blocks out in front of me. I'm going to bring my forehead down. Don't have to come all the way to the ground. As this posture begins to feel intense, or you feel like you want to get out of it, or you want to shift yourself over, see if you can recenter yourself by taking a deep breath and sending it to wherever you're feeling the tension. Sigh out any tension, anything that you need to let go of. Take one more deep breath in here. Press yourself up to long arms if you were kind of down. And then gently press your leg back behind you for a down dog, shaking out that hip if you need to. And then inhale your left foot to the sky and step it forward for half pigeon. This time on the left side. We are not over on our side, we're up and center. Foot is flexed. Inhale, on your exhale, go ahead and come down to your elbows or your forehead if you'd like to. like to use a block, don't use a block. Yogi's choice. Whatever you do, stay in your breath. And try not to squirm around. Try to settle into any discomfort. It's good practice for everyday life. Really let that hip open. Take one more deep breath in. Press yourself up to long arms. And then we're just going to bring that right leg around. And we're going to take a seated twist. So, kind of cross your left knee is bent underneath you. Your right foot crosses over your left knee. And then take left elbow to right knee. Spine is straight. Right arm is behind you. And just gently twist, looking over that right shoulder. Let that unwind. Switch your feet. So right knee is bent underneath you. Left knee comes over your right. Left arm behind you. Right knee. Right elbow to left knee. And twist, looking over your left shoulder. Spine is long. Reaching tall through that spine. Slowly unwind. Bring your feet out in front of you. We're going to take a seated forward fold. You can grab behind your knees, you can grab your ankles, you can grab your feet, or you can use a strap. Wrap the strap around your feet, and then pull yourself forward. Feet are flexed. Spine is flat. As we sort of pull our femur back into our hip joint and let our spine get long. Walking your hands down if you'd like. Very nice. Release that. Come down onto your back. We're going to do a short core series here today. Feet come straight up in the air. Breathe in. Exhale your feet about a third of the way to the floor. Inhale. Exhale another third. Inhale. Exhale 2 inches off the ground and hover. Breathe in. Core is tight. Exhale about a third of the way up. Exhale another third. Exhale all the way up. Bend your knees into tabletop. Hands come behind your head. We're going to take opposite elbow to opposite knee for bicycles. That's 1, 2, 3. Remembering your breath. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rest. We're going to do another set of bicycles. Breathe in. Feet come to tabletop. And on your own count, go to 10. That's 2, 3 for me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And stretch out your core. Our next pose, we're going to take either bridge or wheel or supported bridge. Feet come close to your glutes. For supported bridge, you're just going to press a block under your sacrum. Hands graze your feet. And you let yourself be supported by the block. If wheel is in your practice, plant your hands beside your ears and press yourself up into wheel. Stay there for 5 breaths. If you would like to take bridge, walk your hands underneath your shoulders, clasp your hands and roll your heart open. After you've been here for 5 breaths, sink down. Let your knees rest in on one another. We're going to set up for one more round of bridge or wheel. Breathe in, plant your hands if you're coming into wheel, and flex your glutes. Press yourself up into bridge or wheel. 5 breaths. Tuck your chin and come down if you're in wheel. Feet come together, knees go wide. Supta Baddha Konasana. One hand on your heart, one hand on your abdomen. Let your heart rate come back to normal. From here, we're going to take Happy Baby. You can take Straddle Pose. Keep your spine flat on the ground so you can grasp behind your knees, your ankles, or the outer edges of your feet. Not lifting your tailbone up to grab higher on your leg though. Go ahead and release that. For our final inversion, you can take legs up a wall. You can take waterfall pose with a block under your sacrum, or you can take shoulder stand into plow pose. I'm going to stay in waterfall pose today. You take the inversion of your choice. You can also take headstand or handstand if those are in your practice and you would like to do that now. If you are in shoulder stand, drop your feet behind you with control for plow pose. Press into the balls of your feet, reaching your heels to the wall behind you. On your exhale, slowly roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. All of us will meet on our backs. Bring your knees to a tabletop position, arms are teed out, and drop your knees over to the right side. For a supine twist, gaze comes over the left shoulder. Take any final posture that you would like to take. Come back to center. Knees come to tabletop. Drop your knees over to the left this time. Gaze is over the right shoulder. Really breathe into this last stretch. Come out of that twist and release everything to the mat. Arms splayed open, feet and legs are relaxed. Check in for tension anywhere in your body. Begin to let your breath return to normal. Check in with your jaw, make sure it's unclenched, that your eyes are relaxed in your eye sockets, and surrender to the mat. Come from the heart. the true heart, not the head. When in doubt, choose the heart. This does not mean to deny your own experience and that which you have empirically learned through the years. It means to trust yourself to integrate intuition and experience. There is a balance, a harmony to be nurtured between the head and the heart. When the intuition rings clear and true, loving impulses are favored. Trust your heart, trust your intuition, stop overthinking. And that is an open third eye. Begin to bring some movement into your fingers and toes. Breathe in through your nose and release it through your nose. Keeping your eyes closed, roll yourself onto your right side using your arm as a pillow. And keeping your eyes closed, press yourself into a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands to heart center. We will seal our practice with one Om. Thumbs to third eye. The light in me sees and acknowledges the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, subscribe, share it with a friend who you think would enjoy it. And as always, I love you all, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you.